Hi, in this video, we will drill into how students submit work in Google Classroom. So right now, I am already logged in to this student's account and I'm in the classwork tab. Students will submit all of their work from the classwork tab. So we're gonna look at these first maybe 4 or so assignments to explore how students will be submitting work. So the first thing they need to do is let's click on the assignment. It will just open up a larger view of the assignment, but in order to interact with it, they need to click View Assignment. Now I'm in the main view for this individual assignment, this Harry Potter quiz. So right here, you can see any directions that your teacher has given you. And then there's a link here. So for this assignment, the students will be playing a Kahoot quiz type game. So they would click on this link and then they would play the game. We're not going to explore that component of the assignment, but I want to show you how students will submit the work to say that they're done with this assignment. So if an assignment has any points assigned to it, then students can see that right here. So this assignment is worth 100 points. Right here, it tells you that this is your work. It's been assigned to you, so you're not done with it. When you are done, you're going to click Mark as done, but we're going to do that in a minute. This section here is class comments. If teachers have this feature enabled, this is a space where students can ask a question or post a comment about the assignment that every other student can see. So anything that's posted here, all students and teachers can see. And they can click the little paper airplane and it will post it. So this is all students and teachers can see this. You'll notice over here, there's a private comment section. This is a great place for students to ask a question just to their teacher. The only person that can see the private comments is the teacher. So maybe if the student has a question, if they're not understanding something, or they need some further clarification, they could post that question here. And then they hit the little paper airplane, and that will, whoops, let me do that again. That will send the message directly to the teacher. When students are done with the assignment, the thing that they need to remember to do is click this Mark as Done button. A pop-up will appear. For this assignment, the student hasn't actually turned anything in because they just were doing this link on Kahoot. So Google Classroom is just prompting them saying, you didn't attach any work, so your teacher's just gonna know that you're finished, which for this assignment is perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Mark as Done. And so now you can see that the work, it's been turned in. Nothing was attached because for this assignment, all they had to do was click this link. And then if for some reason the student needs to pull that back, they could unsubmit it. So that's how you can submit work for an individual assignment. We're going to go back into our classwork page, and you'll notice here this Harry Potter assignment, it now shows as turned in because we turned it in. We marked it as done. Let's look at this next assignment, this Read Chapter 4. So I can see automatically that there's some kind of a document that my teacher has provided for the student. So let's go ahead and click View Assignment. And again, the layout here is the same. Your points, if the teacher is using a point system, is here. It's showing that it's assigned. I haven't turned it in. I can still leave private comments. I can leave class comments. But I have this document that my teacher wanted me to look at. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. You'll notice here for this document, as the student, I can't edit it. So this is just a resource that my teacher has provided me that I can read over and I can look at. So now if I go back into Google Classroom, if I was done reading this assignment, I can click Mark as Done. Again, I'm getting that message saying I didn't attach any work, but all I had to do was read this article, so I can click Mark as Done. And again, it went from being assigned to being turned in. And let's look at a couple more examples. So here we have an assignment that's asking us to answer these questions. And so here's a great example. This assignment was due a couple days ago and it's now showing up as missing. But as the student, I can still turn it in. So if I click on View Assignment, and now you'll notice here in the Your Work section, there's a document. That means that the teacher wants the student to click on this document and wants the student to type on it to respond to any questions. And again, this is a sample document that was just shared out. But you'll notice here that this document is now titled with the student's name and the name of the assignment. And students can edit this. So let's just kind of play around with this. The students can type on it. You'll also notice that there's a turn in button right here. And if I go back into my Google Classroom, there's a turn in button here. So if students are turning in something to the teacher, it's just as if the student were going to hand the paper to the teacher. So when they're done typing on this document, whatever the teacher wants the student to respond to, they're going to click this turn in button. And now I get a different message. It's saying that this one attachment will be submitted to the teacher. And this is that document, the same document here that I was working on. So I'm going to click Turn In. And so now it shows that it was turned in but late because I did miss the due date. And if I open up this tab here, I'm going to just refresh it because once students turn in the document to the teacher, it's just like them handing it physically to the teacher. They can no longer edit this document. So once they hit turn in, they can't go in and make any changes on the document. They no longer have access to do that. If for some reason they made a mistake and they need to get that piece of paper back, they can click the Unsubmit button. That just removes it from the teacher's queue. And so now they can make any changes to this document. So I'm going to refresh it. And now I have the ability to make changes. And then I still need to come back to Google Classroom and click Turn In. I get that same message saying I'm going to turn in this document. I'm going to hit Turn In. And now this item is turned in. So the last assignment type that I want to show you is a question. So you'll notice here that some of these icons have like a little clipboard with lined paper kind of. This icon's a question mark. So that means that there's a question that I need to respond to. So I'm going to go into this assignment by clicking View Question. And the question is just, when is your birthday? And there's a space over here for me to type my answer. So we'll just say January 1st. I'm going to click Turn In. And then my prompt is, do I want to submit this answer? I can't make any changes, so I'll go ahead and say Turn In. And so there's my response. If the teacher has allowed it, I would be able to see my classmates' answers. So far, this student's the only one who's turned this in. So I just wanted to demonstrate that there might be some different assignment types that you notice in Google Classroom. There might be questions, there might be assignments. They work in a very similar way. The key thing is making sure students hit the Mark as Done button or the Turn In button. And then students will also know that they've completed the assignment, they've turned it in, because this circle here is a little bit grayed out. If I scroll down here, I never did this Kinder work assignment. So it's got a darker gray circle versus this question that I answered, which has a grayed out circle. So again, it's just another way that students can easily see what they've completed and what they still need to work on.